The 6-piece DeWalt toolkit that comes with the ToughSystem roll-around cart, as well as you get 2 batteries and a charger also. But the model number on this is the kit number is the DCKTS600M2. Now what you get with this is you get the DCF890, and this is a tool that we've actually reviewed before that did really, really well. In fact, I think we labeled it the Overachiever because I think they rated at 150 foot-pounds, but it went well beyond that. I think it broke free 300 foot-pound nuts, and I think tightening force was like 200 foot-pounds. So 3/8 anvil, just a nice little impact. So it's part of their compact. It's their compact impact. But did very well. I think 0 to 2,800 RPMs and 0 to 3,200 impacts per minute. You get a variable speed trigger here. Really no modes on this. Really simple tool. It is a brushless motor as part of their XR series. So that's a really nice impact. Now, staying with the impacts is the DCF809 that's part of this kit as well. Now, we haven't reviewed this yet, so why don't we just take this over and use this for a moment and then actually see how well it does. As I mentioned, the DCF809 is rated at 1,700 inch-pounds. Now that converted to foot-pounds is going to be right at a little over 140, like 141, 142 foot-pounds. So let's actually see if it can hit those numbers. I actually think it will do a little more than that. So let's go ahead and torque these bolts down here. We'll start with 50. Okay, so we took our torque gun and we torqued this to 75, 100, 125, 150, and then we jumped to 200 and 250. So let's see how we do here. You'll see that we've got a full battery here. All 3 bars light up. And we're in reverse. So here's 50 foot-pounds. 75. 100. 125. 150. And then this should be 200. And then 250. So it's even doing 250 foot-pounds of force, breaking that free. Now keep in mind that's breakaway force or nut busting force, if you will, and it typically only takes about 80% of the value that it took to tighten it to loosen it. But it's well beyond the 141 foot-pounds that they state it does. So as its big brother here, with the 3/8 anvil, the 1/4 inch impact, the DCF809, did really, really well. In fact, it's an overachiever as well. So you saw it breaking free 250 foot-pound nuts, no problem at all. Took a few seconds, but it broke those free. We didn't push it beyond that. Probably would have done more. It's probably the same thing that's right here. I mean, you can look at it and tell that. But anyway, and then as far as tightening force, we didn't go that deep, but they rate this at 1,700 inch-pounds, which is 142 foot-pounds. So again, did well beyond that. Same thing here, very simple approach on an impact tool or impact driver. No modes here, just a simple variable speed trigger for the brushless motor. Lays down the power great, and again, you can feather that throttle to wherever you want to in that RPM range. And on both these tools, you're getting those tri-LED lights on here that going to make it really easy to see that fastener that you're working on. Next up is the DCS354, and this is part of the Atomic series that DeWalt came out with. You still get a brushless motor, nice compact, smaller tool. The really nice thing on these multi-tools from DeWalt is this quick changeability to change those blades. Typically you've got an Allen screw or an Allen head here that you've got to loosen with an Allen wrench. You got to find the wrench and so forth, but you can just squeeze this down, put that in there, and also this is going to accept most of your different styles of oscillating tool blades. You also get kind of a dual function trigger, not really a dual function, but 2 different ways you can use this trigger. You see it's almost like a rocker switch here, so you can use this with multiple fingers, so whatever's comfortable for you to use it like a trigger or to use it more of like a paddle style as well, where you can get kind of a deeper grasp in here if you need to. So that's a really nice oscillating tool. Again, part of that Atomic line. Then sticking with the saws here, we have the DCS573, and this is a 7¼ inch circular saw. Again, all this is going to run on their 20-volt platform. But here's the difference on this tool, is it has the FlexVolt Advantage. Now, that may sound like just a marketing spiel, but it's really not. Basically, you can use the FlexVolt batteries on this and gain like 77% more power. I don't know if 77% is right on, but you do gain a ton of power when you combine a FlexVolt battery with this saw. So if you're in a situation where you're cutting, rip cuts in pressure-treated lumber and really want some more power, throw a FlexVolt battery on there and you're going to get it. It's got an electronic brake on it as well, so as soon as you let off the tool, it's going to stop that blade very quickly. And it is Tool Connect ready as well, so you can run the Tool Connect chip for tracking and getting the utmost out of your tools. You also have 0 to 57 degree bevel as well, bevel adjustment, where you can bevel the plate here, bevel the foot to wherever you need it, 0 to 57 degrees very quickly, and that's toolless. You also have a spindle lock here as well. And you're going to get 5,500 RPMs, no load speed. And this tool is going to come in at about 8 pounds, 8.2 pounds for the bare tool with the battery. That's going to add to you a couple of pounds there. So that's the DCS573. Then we have another Atomic tool. So another compact tool, part of their brushless Atomic series. So pretty small footprint here. It's only 5.1 inches from tip to tail. This is a hammer drill, so in addition to just getting a drill with a 16 position clutch here, you also have drill mode as well as hammer mode. So this is a small compact hammer drill. So you're drilling into concrete, drilling into masonry. This is going to be a great drill for you. You're going to get that variable speed trigger here. You're also getting 2 speeds, and with that you're going to get up to 450 RPMs in speed 1 and 650 RPMs in speed 2. And this weighs in at only 2.5 pounds. And by the way, I think I said 5.1 inches. This is actually 6.9 inches from tip to tail on this. And then last in the kit here is the grinder, another FlexVolt Advantage tool. And this is the DCG416. Now you get a paddle style trigger here. I love a paddle trigger on a grinder. It just makes a ton of sense. You get your safety lock out there. You see you can't depress it until you flip that safety latch there. But a paddle style switch really to me is so much better than a slide style switch on a grinder, because you can basically grab this with any of these fingers, with one of the fingers, what have you, and depress that. You're also going to get your easy tool-free adjusting guard here, as well as they claim a tool-free grinder wheel or wheel replace or wheel arbor, if you will, to be able to put that nut on and keep that secure without a tool, as well as remove it without a tool. You see you get knurling here around the around that nut, so it's easy to grab with your hand. Push the spindle lock right here. No tools needed to change those wheels. Now that's going to run a 4.5 inch wheel. Actually, you can run a 5 inch wheel on here as well. So this guard will accept, and the tool can handle a 5 inch wheel. So 4.5 and 5 inch. Electronic brake on this, as well as electronic kickback. And I mentioned FlexVolt Advantage. Same thing with this tool as I mentioned on the saw. If you want to pick up some more power, obviously more run time as well, run a FlexVolt battery on here. And I believe this tool, they're saying more than 50% gain in power when you run a FlexVolt battery. A grinder will rob a ton of juice from a battery. So this is definitely a great tool for running a FlexVolt battery. And by the way, I think DeWalt has some of the best cordless grinders. We run them all the time. We've got a couple of the FlexVolt grinders as well as one of the 20-volt grinders as you see here. So really nice grinders from DeWalt, especially for the money. So you can get this whole kit